Today we're standing on Hankley Common and we're standing right next to one of those memorials in many ways to what happened on those days of 6th of June 1944 and D-Day. This is the Atlantic Wall. Across the coast of northern France, the Germans had built a huge defensive structure which they called the Atlantic Wall. The Allies were perfectly well aware of this and they needed to train to make sure that the soldiers would know exactly how to deal with this structure when they landed on the beaches in Normandy. So they built them on the training areas of the UK and practiced attacking them and making breaches through and then moving forwards. This particular structure is the first part of what we call defence in depth. So you have the big wall as the first structure, and then behind it you have a series of blockhouses and pillboxes, and there are entanglements of barbed wire, machine gun positions, anti-tank positions. So the first job that the Allies would face is to land on the beach, and that's no mean feat in its own right, but then to get through this huge concrete construction. Now, do they do that by putting ladders against it or using explosives? These are all the questions they have to answer, and this is a key part of the success of D-Day.
The outer guns of the Atlantic Wall were silenced by early waves of the invading forces. The beach defences were wrecked. Doubtless many formidable defence systems remained to be stormed, but when the first line was broken, the Allies, after 4 years, had a secure foothold in France. Into the Normandy countryside, the troops marched against the retreating enemy.
These monuments are really rare and they're diminishing. There aren't many monuments connected to one of the most important parts of the nation's history, and we as DIO, we're custodians of that. We're looking after the land. It's really important that we look after monuments connected to D-Day for the nation's heritage, but also for our own corporate heritage, because we are the Ministry of Defence. And having this sort of memory for the soldiers that pass through today to remind them of what their predecessors did, I think is a really important thing. The fact that we still curate some of these memories of D-Day is really important. You've got to think in the 1940s, the whole focus of the country was basically liberating Europe, and this is a small but vital part.